My name is Jim Martin. I've always had an interest in airplanes. Grew up building models, and Dad taking me to airports to see airplanes, and it's always been my interest. I liked the airplanes themselves. I liked the history. I liked the freedom, of course, from rides in airplanes, small planes, airliners. I love looking down at the earth and looking at the landscape, the rivers, in people's backyards, tremendous houses that you don't see from the road, and just the landscape, the scenery, the clouds, all that. PT stands for primary trainer. During World War II, that was how the Army classified different types of aircraft. There were primary trainers, which the new recruits would learn the very basics of flying. Then they'd move on to a BT, which is a basic trainer, AT, advanced trainer, and then they'd be on the operational type, whether a fighter or bomber. And the 19 was just the series number. There were 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, and that's just where it lies in the chronology of the PT trainers that were being built. I was very interested in getting a warbird. I wanted something with a military background, and I was very interested in another type. But my dad suggested, we were at an air show and a PT-19 was there, and I hadn't even been considering them, thinking they'd be too expensive. And he said, well, what do they go for? And surprisingly, they were in the same range as the other type I was looking at. The PT won me over with the open cockpit, with the inline engine. They had a good history of safety and simple enough for me to maintain and economical enough for me to run, so I never looked back. That was the airplane of choice. When I was restoring my plane, at one point I had stripped the paint off, and I could see on the wing, which is all a wooden structure, there was a sizable repair on the front of the wing, and I assumed somebody maybe ran into a fence or a runway light or a fuel truck backed into it, something of that nature. Well, I was at Oshkosh, the big air show at Oshkosh, and it attracts people from all over the country and the world. And one guy was looking at the plane in particular and asked me if I knew the history of it and had it ever been in Oklahoma, which it was. Anyways, in putting two and two together, he had worked on my airplane in the early 70s. And so I asked him about that repair in the wing, what caused, or what was the reason for that? And he said, well, when the wing was in storage in a barn, a cow stepped on it. Glenn Curtis had a wonderful quote. It's, the allure of flying is hard to explain and difficult to resist. And I think that sums it up very well. It's always fun. It's always, I just get a joy out of the scenery of it and the flying of it, and just the atmosphere that it is involved. You have nice quality people, good friends, a lot of people share the enthusiasm and encouragement, and it becomes a bit of a social thing. It can be a very solitary thing too. I love time, just cleaning the airplane, just working on it. Sometimes you don't need help. It's just some people lavish their attention on a car, a hot rod, a boat, a garden, a model train set. Everybody has something, and this is my affliction.